Dumelang guys, welcome to my YouTube channel or welcome back to my channel. If you're not subscribed, please do subscribe if you're into creative home living, basically anything home related, renovations, makeovers, DIYs, anything home related. Like I said, go right ahead and subscribe. Don't forget to give this video a thumbs up or comment down below so we can have a conversation. I try and answer every single comment. Honestly, there's not much, that's why I need you guys to comment. Okay, calm down. Now that I'm calm, we already started this entryway makeover series, obviously starting with last week where we posted the mirror and we DIY'd the mirror. This week we're coming into the floating shelf that's right behind me. Love it. Yes, we love it for me. But anyways, this floating shelf is more of like, it took the liking or the shape of the picture shelf, shall I say, the frame holding shelf. They do have it at Mr. Price Home. They do have it at, I think, Decor, if I'm not mistaken. But however, I decided to DIY mine because I didn't think through my DIYs. I started off with the wall, and since the wall has detailing on it, I'm gonna have to customize this shelf to fit onto the detailing, like the grooves and the spaces that are on the wall, just so it can accommodate and stay flush against the wall. And also I get to pick the color that I want my shelf to be, which is also a nice thing in DIYs. So that is why I went with the DIY version. So without further ado, let us get into our floating shelf DIY.
So these are the items that you're going to need, or shall I say materials and tools that you're going to need for this DIY. Alright guys, let's get started. So what I started off doing was sanding my wooden pieces. So one is a carpenter wooden piece and one is just a simple pine wood. I already mentioned the sizes and the material, so you can just press pause so you know the sizes that I'm working with. But the length of my shelf is going to be 90 centimeters. So I worked out the template as you saw, and I measured out where am I gonna put the screws to screw it all together. I didn't glue my shelf together because I feel like in the long run I might change my mind and I might want to take it apart, and to assemble it I did require for it to just have nails and no glue. So you can go right ahead and secure it with nails and glue if you want, for just that double secureness or security, shall I say. So I took a drill bit and I like to mark off where I'm going to drill. That way when I put in my drill with the drill already in, like the drill bit already attached with the drill, it just simply stays like right where I want it, and it doesn't glide around, or I don't drill an area where I don't need it to be drilled, because honestly speaking this drill is a bit heavier for my own hands. So yeah, that's why. So I went in with a slightly bigger drill, taped off where I want to stop drilling. This is so that the nails can go in and lay flush with the wood so that they don't stick out. I've done this before when I was creating my floating shelves for my bedroom. I will link that video up here and also down below so you guys can see what I'm talking about, because I don't really show much of that in this video because we've been through this before if you're already a returning subscriber. If not, I will link that video down below. So what I did was somebody even corrected me that these are not nails, the screws. Sorry about that guys. I used my screws. I just screwed them a little bit just so I can secure them onto the carpenter board, which is where I'm gonna put that's gonna carry everything. And I just basically screwed these into place, attaching the one side to the carpenter board. But however, I did not attach the second side because that's the part I'm gonna customize. So as you can see, everything is together. So for the second board, I am using the wall template to see where I need to cut so that I can make sure that this is custom to the wall and it lays flush. And obviously always use a spirit leveler. That is your best friend, guys. Do you guys think I say the word obviously too much? Because honestly, I think it's my go-to word. Even though things are not obvious, I just say obviously. Would I be explaining if things were obvious? Okay, anyways. This is me showing you where I'm going to make my cuts and how I'm going to join the lines on either side. And this is just basically to customize it so that it lays flush against the wall. You will see me use this saw and this guide often, especially for the next video when I'm showing you guys how to DIY the wall, because I don't have the money to buy a miter saw or any kind of like special saw besides the jigsaw that I already own. So this is basically how it helped me to make my cuts. I didn't use the last little piece on the right, and you will see that I didn't in the after shots. So after I assembled it, I realized that I need to take things apart again because my drill would not fit into attaching this and mounting this shelf to the wall. So I had to drill, as you can see, and I was not going to be able to hold the drill like that with the other piece attached. This is where I was so glad that I didn't glue my pieces together and I just simply screwed them together. So yeah, you will go back and forth if you do not plan everything accordingly. So what I did was, my brother came in to help, my sister had the camera in hand, and I was just hammering the Fisher plugs into the wall. Some people call them anchors, they're Fisher plugs, whichever one you prefer. So my brother did the drilling because I was a little bit nervous, marked off where to stop drilling, and then I would just followed him with putting in the Fisher plugs and nailing them into the wall. It's always nice when my siblings help me with these DIYs because I started procrastinating and they're like, nope, we are finishing this today. So I'm always happy to have them by my side all the time. So ensuring that everything is level, I am basically mounting or attaching this shelf to the wall. And this required me to push it as much as I could, and as you can see, I left some room so that it can accommodate the wall behind the detail behind the wall. And then I went back to assembling it all over again, and I got so excited I started putting things on, like my drill bits, my spirit leveler, just for the sake of the fact that I just wanted to see how much it could carry, and I got excited. And then moving on to the last bit. Okay, it's not really the last bit, but it's the last detail where I'm going to be using a drill. So what I did was I decided to apply hooks at the bottom of my shelf so that it can also be functional instead of just being something that's aesthetically pleasing, that holds like decor items. I wanted this to be functional. I wanted these to hang my masks and my family's masks. Whenever we walk in the door, we can just hang them here because they have turned the chairs that I reupholstered. I will link them up here and down below. They have turned them into their mask holders and they just hang them off. So that's why I added those hooks at the very bottom so that they're not really distracting to the eyes. So you guys have seen me paint wash before, and I've done it when I was whitewashing the bar cut that I DIY'd. I'll also link it, obviously, link. So I got this paint from Leroy Merlin. It is latte color. It's called Latte, and I basically wanted to test it out using these small little blocks of pine to see if I really like it the way it was. So I went with a 1-part ratio, like 1-to-1 ratio of paint to water, and it was really runny, but you can choose how much you want to go with it. So I realized that I liked the color, but it was too dark. So what I did was I added white paint to the latte paint, mixed it up and tested it out because I wanted it slightly lighter. I wanted it to look like raw wood, but not really look like raw wood, because raw wood, there's something unfinished about it. It looks just unfinished, but I wanted that thing of it looks finished but it does look like you didn't paint it kind of vibe, if you understand me. I hope I'm making sense. So obviously you go with painting it onto your wood and then you wipe it off after, so you can sometimes leave it for slightly longer, and this is a difference between with the white paint in it and without the white paint in it. So I really liked when I mixed it with white paint and made it lighter, so I went with that color. So this is the difference between the white with the paint wash versus without the stain. So you see the raw versus the paint washed version. So wiping off my shelf, which is something that I always highly recommend. Before you paint, before you stain, before you do anything to your furniture, you need to wipe it off, wipe off the dust and debris from the sanding, from the drilling and all that kind of stuff. Make sure that everything is clean. So I laid down a drop cloth and immediately I was grateful that I actually laid it down. Look at that. I was so happy that I don't have to clean up all of that. So it's not a drop cloth. I laid down a drop sheet. Honestly, it's just my refuse bag. I didn't undo it or or anything like that. I can still reuse it as a refuse bag. After this, I actually am using it at the moment as a refuse bag. So it's not like I'm letting that plastic go to waste. Well, not really go to waste. You get what I'm saying? So moving on, I was just painting this shelf and wiping it down. This is where I really love the fact that the paint on the wall is good quality, because I got a lot of paint onto the wall, and just using a damp towel or a damp paper towel, I could just easily wipe off the paint from the wall, and I didn't need to actually tape it off. Although it would be better to tape it off instead of cleaning up. You can choose which version you'd rather do this in. I was lazy to tape it off, so I just used a damp towel to wipe it off. This is where I realized that I should have put the hooks after this, because I had to paint around the hooks and wipe and all that kind of stuff. But anyways, it was done at the end. And obviously you're supposed to, okay, here I am again saying the word obviously. It's not obvious, but I let it dry and didn't take long, because obviously with the wiping technique, it's easier. Going in with my clear top coat to protect this shelf, because it's in a high traffic area, so we're gonna experience people throwing keys on it, which I don't really highly recommend for you guys to have your belongings, like your car keys and your house keys, right by the door, because God forbid should somebody break in your house, you basically gave them every single little thing that they need, like your car and and everything that's in your car, your house keys and all that kind of stuff. So for safety reasons, I don't recommend that. You get to see it in 3, 2, 1.
Guys, that was our floating shelf DIY. I am in love with the color of this floating shelf, because honestly I've been going through stains trying to find a natural looking stain, but however I didn't want the unfinished wood looking version of it, but I didn't want it too stained, and sometimes some stains have undertones that I don't like I used to mix stains together just so I can get rid of some undertones. But honestly, this paint wash version of staining or like paint washing wood, I love it for myself. I'm gonna continue with this color across my whole house because I love how it looks in general. So obviously we have discovered what I love about this DIY. I love how it's custom, and what I would change basically is not more so on the DIY, like on the floating shelf itself, it's more so on the wall. I wish I planned around the fact that I knew I always wanted a floating shelf on this wall, but some way somehow I just didn't think that I should first install the shelf and then the geometric pattern on the wall, which made it a little bit more complicated for me to actually DIY this floating shelf. But anyways, I do like how the outcome still turned out great. Let me know how you feel about it, how you feel about the color, how you feel about the DIY in general by commenting down below. And we are not done. Next week we are finally getting to the wall. I get to show you guys how I DIY'd this wall behind me and how good it looks and how easy it was. Okay, kinda easy. As soon as you get into a flow of everything becomes easy all of a sudden. But anyways, do not miss that video which is coming next week on my channel. So if you're not subscribed, I think this is the great reason why you should actually subscribe to not miss it. And if you already are subscribed, turn on the bell notification so you don't miss next week's video upload, so you guys can finally get to see how I put these panels on the wall without actually nailing them on and just simply gluing them on. So with that being said, I hope you guys loved this video. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to comment down below. Let us have a conversation. You know, let us be social people online. But anyways, hope you enjoy your day further. Be kind, love, and light. Bye. I already said bye to you guys. I haven't even run the costs. Well, this floating shelf cost me 200 rands. Like I said, you don't have to DIY it. You can simply go to Mr. Price Home and buy the same. But at Mr. Price Home, I already have that shelf. It was 200 rands or more than that, but it was shorter than what's behind me. So in a way, it kind of does save money if you DIY it yourself, because you can go for the length that you want for less money. So it cost me 200 rands, and I'm so sorry for saying goodbye to you guys. I guess I couldn't wait to simply get into the thought of next week's video that I forgot to run these costs. But yeah, back to the ending. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the bell notifications, and be kind, love, and light one more time. Bye.